a.m. Put some love in my body. As you can see, I'm leaving the gym. About to knock these steps out. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see where we starting at. That can't be right. Let's see. Refresh. Huh? All right, so we starting at 13 on the steps right now. You dig? We about to see how close we gonna get to 10K at the top of the day. You dig? Y'all already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Man, it's crazy how many people done stole that from a pimp, man. They try to come with their own little variations of my shit. Long as they know who it came from, though. Some people don't even know who it came from. Some people stealing from people who stealing from people that stole from me. You know what I mean? Ain't that some shit? To steal from somebody, that steal from somebody, that stole from somebody else. That's somebody else being me. But yeah, man. A lot of thievery going on with this shit. But wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, man. Yeah, man. They still in the Tyler, you already know, man. Hijacking the pimp's intellectual properties and shit, man. You dig? But it's all good, though, man. Feeling good. Just got a good workout in. Driving some mine. Oh, wait. Tripping. Going the wrong way. If I go that way, it might do 20,000 steps. We only want 10,000, man. I mean, I'll take 20,000. I don't mind. I did 25,000 steps. Wait, today is, well, technically it's Monday. On Saturday, I did 25,000 steps. Yeah, man. Should have brought my microphone with me. I didn't expect to go live. I didn't expect to go live like this or do this walk right now. But I was still feeling good after my workout, so I said, you know what? Let me go get my steps in, man. But had I thought about going live after my workout like I'm doing before I did it, I would have brought my microphone with me so y'all can hear me better, but hopefully y'all can hear me cool. You dig? It look cold out there. It ain't really, it's a little chilly, but it ain't real. I wouldn't say it's cold. You know what I mean? It's a little chilly though. Obviously I got the sweater on, you dig? So it's a little chilly. It ain't t-shirt weather. It ain't coat weather, but it's sweater weather, you dig? Yeah, man. Official Mac Juice say, what up, Freeze, man? Will there be any new Sinful to P uploads? Yeah. I'm gonna start doing that on the regular, at least once a week on the main channel, because the main channel, Sinful to P, is almost at 100K, man. We like 1,800 and some change away. 1,800 subs away from 100K, man. So we almost there. You know, at first, around the time bro passed, YouTube was being janky and they wasn't letting bro's channel be great. At that time, some of y'all might remember when bro had first passed and I was uploading stuff on his channel, his subs would go down every time. Every time I posted something on his channel, the subs would go down. So I was like, damn. Then, over time, the subs wouldn't necessarily go down, but they wouldn't grow either. It was weird. Then, they demonetized bro's channel. I was like, damn. And it, you know, it wasn't even no activity going on his channel at the time. I don't know if YouTube was like doing a cleanse or if somebody was reporting bro shit. I don't know. But, you know, Sinful to P's channel had got demonetized. I want to say, when was this? This was, I want to say August of 24. Like August or September of last year, somewhere around there, they had demonetized Sinful to P's channel. I'm like, damn. So, I forget what happened. I can't remember if I got an email or some type of notification, but somehow, some way, I think it was a notification. But I figured out that I could apply to get bro's channel monetized again. So I did that, and it was real easy. I just, you know, reapplied to get monetized, and they monetized bro's channel again. So, I mean, I don't really trip about the monetization on bro's channel, but I think when you're not when you're demonetized, like they don't let your shit, you know, your shit don't get recommended, your videos, you know, it's more to it than just the monetization aspect of it when you get demonetized. At least from my perspective, the way from what I've seen, it seemed like when you get demonetized, they also don't let your channel be great either. Like your views probably get stagnated and all that type of shit. It's like when you get demonetized, well, it probably ain't like that for everybody, but for Sinful to P's channel, I think when he got demonetized, he got shadow banned at the same time. But ever since I got his channel remonetized, it's cool. His views is cool, and the subs be growing. You know what I mean? So now that I see they letting this channel be great again, I'm gonna start posting on there on a regular. Because now I see when I post, it's not like before, like his subs actually go up when I post stuff on his channel. So yeah, we should be to that 100K real soon, man. Sinful to P family, man, we should be at that 100K very, very soon. You know what I mean? Definitely in 2026. Bro gonna be at 100K for sure. So bro will finally get that plaque he was supposed to get a long time ago, man. You know, cause YouTube is like over, how can I say it? They're just super restrictive, as y'all know, when it comes to content, language, and topics, and all that type of shit. So because of the way bro talk and the type of things that bro talk about, as great as his content is, you know, YouTube, they don't really, they don't let bro shine like he's supposed to. Nonetheless, he almost at that 100K, so that's what's up. I'm glad that bro finally about to be at 100K, man. So that's good. Glad about that. They probably don't put your videos in the algorithm when you get demonetized. That's what I'm saying. At least for Sinful's channel, that's how it was. You know, I noticed his views dropped drastically when they demonetized his channel. You know what I mean? And I wasn't posting nothing at that time, even a little while before they demonetized his channel. That's why I tripped when they demonetized it, because it wasn't really no activity on his channel as far as like posting. I wasn't really posting nothing on his channel. So that's why I say, I don't know if somebody was reporting this shit or if YouTube was just on some cleanse type shit, because that's another thing too that I didn't say. So leading up until they demonetized his channel, I would get notifications every so often saying this video can't be monetized, or this video is blocked, or, you know, it was like one after another. His videos kept getting blocked or demonetized. They didn't demonetize the channel, but they would demonetize certain videos. And then they demonetized the whole channel. So, like I said, I don't know, the way it was looking, kind of looked like somebody was reporting this shit, man. Somebody was on some sucker shit, probably. I don't know. But YouTube could be on some sucker shit they damn self at times, so ain't no telling. Like Jack told Helen. But the bottom line is, so like I said, he got demonetized, I want to say it was August or September of last year, and I can't remember exactly when, but I got his channel remonetized earlier this year. I want to say like around the springtime or something, maybe like March. Yeah, I want to say it was like March. As I'm thinking about it, it's starting to come back to me. I think it was March when he got remonetized. And then also when he got remonetized, I was able to get a warning off of his channel. Because, you know, for those of you know, got YouTube channels, you're probably familiar with like warnings. Because you could get strikes and then you could get warnings. Now, bro didn't have no strikes, but he had a warning on his channel that was just there for like a couple years. I couldn't figure out how to get that warning off. So now bro's channel is cool. Like, he's back monetized. He ain't got no strikes. He ain't got no warnings. It's all good. You dig? Really should be at a meal ticket, but we'll take the 100K. That's what I'm saying. You know, if YouTube wasn't tripping on language and all that shit, and that's what kills me about YouTube, right? Because they give you the option to select whether or not your content is made for kids. And Sinful, like myself, always selects that this content is not made for kids. So if your content is not being recommended to kids, saying that it's not made for kids, then who the fuck else cares about the language that you use? Bunch of suck ass, grown ass, soft ass, punk ass people. You know, sensitive ass grown ups. I don't even think kids is as easily offended and sensitive as these grown ups. And you know, people act like the real world ain't the real world. These kids be cussing up a storm. Shit, I was cussing at 5 years old. For real. When I was, man, listen, when I was 5 years old, no, wait, I might have been a little bit older. I was probably like 6. When I was about 6 years old, man, I knew all the words, every word. I don't even know all the words to that song right now. But when I was 6 years old, I knew every word to Too Short, Blowjob Betty. And y'all know that song vulgar as hell. Should no 6-year-old know all the words to Blowjob Betty. But when I was 6 years old, man, I knew all the words. I could rap that song front to back. Blowjob Betty. You know what I mean? So, kids be cussing. You know, adults, the people that get super offended, easily offended by everything, they be cussing. You know, everybody use derogatory terms towards each other. You know, people who ain't a part of the rainbow situation got derogatory terms for the rainbow situation. People that are part of the rainbow situation got their derogatory terms for people who ain't. And every ethnicity, you know, got their derogatory terms for every other ethnicity. You know, comedians can't even be comedians no more. Man, I just seen some shit, man. That shit had me dying laughing. I hadn't seen this shit since probably since the 90s. But Jim Carrey, I was watching a skit from In Living Color the other day where Jim Carrey, and I'm talking about he was dead on. See, some of y'all too young to remember Don Rickles. But Don Rickles was a comedian back in the day. Rest in peace. But he was a controversial type of dude. He just spoke his mind. He didn't hold no punches. He didn't bite his tongue. And man, Jim Carrey is a fool. But he did a skit where he was impersonating Don Rickles. And, you know, the skit was like Don Rickles roasting the UN. So, you know, the UN got all the different nations and all the different ethnicities and shit. And he was saying shit about everybody. He roasted the Arabs. He roasted black people. He roasted the Jews. He roasted the Latino nations. He was roasting everybody, man. But, like, it was funny. Even the shit that he said about black people was funny. But that's just how shit was back in the day, man. You used to be able to like, just say whatever, and everybody wasn't just so uptight. You know what I mean? And there's a difference. Like, people got to know the difference between humor and disrespect. You know, it's okay to be humorous, but even the disrespect, like, everybody wasn't just so sensitive like that. You know what I mean? We live in a time now where motherfuckers say one word and lose $1 billion company. That shit still blows my mind, even though it's been years. But Donald Sterling, this man lost the NBA team because he said one word. You know, a word that I'm sure every other NBA owner done use at some time or another. They just didn't get caught and get recorded like Donald Sterling did. I was about to say the kids be the main ones cussing. Man, when I was a kid, man, you gotta think, man, like, I was a project baby, man. I stood in line for government cheese with my mom and my sister and my brother. You know what I mean? We stood in line for government cheese and government peanut butter and government powdered milk and government cereal. You know what I mean? All that shit. So, man, them 80s, man, we was some badass kids cussing up a storm. And then, like I said, see, that's around the time Ice-T was coming out, NWA, Too Short. You know what I mean? That was the hottest music at the time. And I knew the words to all that shit. So, and these kids nowadays probably cuss worse than we did back then. So, man, you could never do that today. People way too sensitive, especially the tiny hat people. For real. For real, man. I miss them days, though, man. I miss the days when the comedian could just talk shit about everybody however they want to. That's one thing I love about Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle, man, like, You know, if you want to talk about not just only funny, but surgically careful and strategic with the wordplay, man, Dave Chappelle's a genius. That shit crazy how much of a genius he is when it comes to comedy, because Dave Chappelle still will roast people and somehow he able to dodge bullets when they come for him. Like when the Rainbow people came for him, when he roasted their ass on Netflix. Mind you, that shit was funny as hell. And they came for him. And I like how Netflix had his back. Netflix was like, man, go sit down somewhere. And Dave Chappelle, you know, was unapologetic, didn't care, and it was all good. You know what I mean? More of that type of shit needs to happen. You know, YouTube too scared to do some shit like that. Like what Netflix did, when they came at Dave Chappelle, Netflix had his back. YouTube too scary to do that shit. I wish YouTube would do that though. Hour of Power, those two evangelists on Living Color. Man. Man, it's crazy because when you think about most of the shit that they did on the Living Color, man, that shit probably wouldn't fly nowadays, man. They would have shut that shit down. They wouldn't have made it through one season. Living Color classic though. That shit be real, these streets. The bitch don't make money. 304 don't make sense. Check out that Christopher Williams interview on The Breakfast Club. He was speaking some truth. I'm gonna have to check it out. It popped up in my algorithm, but I didn't watch it yet. I did want to watch it, but I didn't watch it yet. But I seen that he was just recently on The Breakfast Club. Yeah, so I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, man. Getting these good old steps in, man, I feel good. I'm just so used to walking now, man. This shit, I be feeling like sometimes I can walk 100 miles. And it's crazy, like, I'm just glad I'm in the mode I'm in. I hope I stay like this forever, where I just get my steps in like it's nothing. Because there's so many benefits to walking, man. You know, some people say you should get 10,000 steps. Some people say you should get 8,000, 9,000, whatever. I just, you know, got my mind set on 10,000 steps a day, but I'm just glad I'm in the mode that I'm in, because there's so many benefits to walking, you know, especially for people that get older, man. That's why I try to be on my mom's. You know, my mom's was doing real good, getting on the treadmill every day, walking for 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And then when my uncle died earlier this year, she just kind of, it like knocked the steam out of her. She, you know, now she's sporadic with it. She was like real, you know, dead set on getting her treadmill time in every 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At 8 in the morning, she'll go get on the treadmill. But lately, like I said, since my uncle's died earlier this year, she just ain't been on her shit. It's a trip how shit go, right? Because, so in 2023, 2 of my uncles died. My Uncle Daryl and my Uncle Dexter. Now, my Uncle Daryl is my mom's twin brother. And it seemed like a little while after he died, that's when she got serious about how she was eating. She was already doing decent with the food, but she started eating a little better. And the next thing she did was incorporate that treadmill. So it's almost like when her twin died, she was more motivated to, get on top of her health, because my Uncle Daryl died from a heart attack. So she probably thinking like, damn, my twin brother just died from a heart attack. Let me start taking better care of myself, get some exercise. Which, my mom's, she just turned 65 this year. And 65, that's around that age, man, where it's crucial. You gotta be active. You gotta walk. Gotta get your steps in, man, every day, as much as possible. Because, walking, it benefits you in so many ways. If I'm not mistaken, I think when you get older, like, walking helps with your bone density. Definitely helps with your balance. So you're less likely to fall and break a hip when you active at 65 or older. And man, it was crazy. I'll be watching the Diary of a CEO. Shout out to them. But Diary of a CEO, they had some health specialist on there not too long ago, but he was saying that when you over 65 and you fall and break a hip, I forget the percentage, but it was super high for people that die within a year. So basically he was saying that people 65 or older, if they fall and break a hip and they need to get like a hip replacement or something, most of those people die within a year. I was like, God damn, that's crazy. So, that's why I was glad when Mom started getting on that treadmill, because, I noticed, first of all, she was moving a lot faster. I remember I went to go see her one time and she just darted up the steps like I ain't never in my 44 years of life seen my mom's move that fast. But she went up the stairs super fast and then was walking down the hall super fast. I'm like, damn, I had to pep my step up to keep up with her. So it's good to see moms, moving, being agile and having better balance, because my mom's ain't never broke no bones or nothing, but she done, before she was as active as she is now, mom's will fall. I won't say a lot, but she'll fall like every so often. Fortunately, she ain't never broke nothing. She fell off a bicycle one time. That shit scared me to death. Cause she had went and got a bicycle, was riding it. She had went and got a beach cruiser and was riding on the beach cruiser and fell off that thing. Had me spooked, but she was okay though. Fortunately, she didn't break nothing. She was a little younger at that time. She was probably like mid-50s. But, she's in much better shape now than she was at that time, 10 years ago. So, but yeah, man. And then same thing with my pops, man. I'm so glad that my pops got the job that he got as a mail carrier, because it keeps him active. He's super active throughout the day. Pop's 71 and doing good. So, I can't imagine him falling down, breaking no hip or bones or nothing like that, because he stay active, so he in good shape. So, yeah, man. But your older peoples, man, you got to encourage them. I know some older people be so dead set in their ways, be kind of hard to motivate them and encourage them to do better. But you got to at least put forth some effort to encourage them, because activity is what's going to keep you alive when you get older, man. That's like the biggest determining factor. Yeah, how you eat plays a role, different lifestyle habits play a role, but activity is what's gonna keep you alive, man. So that's why I'm glad I got the mindset I do now, so that God willing, make it to my 60s and 70s and all that, I'm gonna be locked in. You know, I'm trying to be 70 years old, still bench pressing 400 pounds. You know, trying to be that old man in the gym, man, and be bench pressing 400 pounds. They be looking at me like, man, how this old ass man still living like that? That's my mission, you dig? Die from breaking the hip. It's not the actual breaking of the hip that kills people or unalives people, but I think it's just like this, because he didn't really get into details about why those people end up dying a year after they get a hip replacement when they over 65. He didn't like get into details as to why, but just me thinking about it, I would guess that it's probably because, for one, those people probably are less active. They probably wasn't very active in the first place, and they probably become even less active after breaking a hip and getting a hip replacement. I would imagine they probably don't move around as much. They probably sit around a whole lot more. And telling you, man, like when you get older, man, you stop moving around, you know, that puts you at a higher risk for getting dementia, Alzheimer's, all that type of shit. When you get older and you less active, you know, puts you at a higher risk for that. And a whole lot of other diseases, man, you get put at risk of when you're older and less active. So that's probably what it got to do with, man. It probably got to do with the fact that when they get a hip replacement, they stop moving around as much, and you know, they putting themselves at risk for all these different ailments. So I think that's probably what it is. Shout out to Mom staying healthy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm just happy my both of my parents is cool, man. Cause I know some older people, man, that just don't move around. They eat terrible, you know, and that shit is scary. Bro, young people too. I went to school with a dude that just had a stroke. He's 42. Now, you're right. Now, of course, you know, the risk increases when you get older, of course, but yeah, it was this cat in the game, man. It was this cat in the game. This was years ago, but he had type 2 diabetes, and he died from complications of that. And he was only 36 years old. I'm like, damn. Another partner of mine, you know, his kidneys failed on him and he died. And he was in his mid-30s. He was like 34, 35. You know? Shit, might have been. Nah, he might have been younger than that. He was probably like 32 or something. And died from, you know, his kidneys failing on him. So, and I think his was, you know, because of his lifestyle, going hard on them substances and things like that. Hey, but I don't know if y'all seen that shit, but a few days ago, the city of San Francisco filed a lawsuit against all the big companies that got, you know, ultra processed foods. I know General Mills was one of them. Pillsbury was one of them. Bunch of other companies, man, that got, you know, all the mass produced ultra processed food. highly refined carbs and all that shit, man. The city of San Francisco done filed a lawsuit against them people. So I don't know, it might be a step in the right direction, man. But that's the problem with America, man. You know, it's always a hidden agenda. Even when shit look like it's righteous, it's a hidden agenda. So it just ain't no telling, man. But I hope that, you know, they stop putting all this food out there that they know is harmful. Then y'all probably seen that shit where that shit kind of viral right now, where some higher up person for Campbell's was saying that Campbell's soup, this is a person that worked for Campbell's soup, was saying that Campbell's soup is for poor people or some shit like that. He said, I can't remember the words verbatim, but it was something along them lines, you know. So it's like they sell the worst food to the poorest people and make a killing off of that shit. It's crazy. We dying too young. Health is truly wealth. Yeah, man, and you know, parents be, and I you know, I just gotta keep that shit 100, man. Be especially the mothers. You know, you got fathers like that too. Just let their kids eat anything and everything, but you got a lot of mothers, man, because unfortunately, you know, I forget the percentage, but it's like 40, I think it's like 40-something% of Americans, 40% of children. Let me look that shit up before I say it wrong. Hold on. Let me look this shit up. Hold on. Hold up. Let me get to it. What percentage of American children are being raised in single mother households? Damn, that shit didn't. Oh, I'm tripping. What percentage of Why this shit ain't working? Oh, let me do it like this. What percentage of American children are being raised in single mother households? Oh yeah, see, I was saying it wrong. Okay, say, according to recent data, about 21.5% of children under the age of 18 in the U.S. live with only their mother and no father present. So that's 21%. That's a high percentage, man. That's a lot of kids in America, if you think about it. So, you know, out of all them kids being raised by only their mother, man, a lot of them mamas, man, be letting their kids just eat any and everything, all the fucking high sugar bullshit, you know? And we starting to see more and more kids with type 2 diabetes, which is crazy, because if you understand about type 2 diabetes, it usually takes about 15 to 20 years to develop it over time. You know, type 2 diabetes ain't some shit that you just eat real bad for a couple years and then you get type 2 diabetes. Nah, that shit take a long time to develop. It takes years and years and years of bad eating and bad lifestyle choices. But we seeing more and more teenagers, you know, and kids with type 2 diabetes, which is crazy. And, you know, kids getting high blood pressure too. That's crazy. You know, so if you think about that, then you think about how just, you know, we all done been in the grocery store, man. and seeing mamas in the grocery store with their kids, and their kids like, Mom, let me get the chips. Can I get the candy? And the mom, you know, she get impatient. First she telling the kid no, the kid won't leave her alone, and finally she's, go ahead, get on my damn nerves. Instead of telling his ass or her ass, shut your ass up. See, my moms used to give us a speech in the car before we go inside the store. See, man, people who grew up in the 80s and 90s, man, or probably even further back, you know, and you had a black mama like I did, hey, man, we know about the speech in the car before you go in the store. Moms lean over. She look over that back seat at you and your sister and your brother or whoever, and like, listen, we go in this store, don't touch nothing, don't ask me for nothing, because you ain't getting it. And if you get on my nerves, I'm going to beat your ass. For real, that's the speech, you know what I mean? And then you go in the store on your best behavior because you don't want to get your ass booked, you know? These mamas nowadays, man, they never learned about the speech. They don't be giving their kids that speech. They just let their kids go in the grocery store and run wild. Just grabbing whatever they want, putting it in the shopping cart, and moms just let it fly. Takis, flaming hot Cheetos, Oreos. Like all of that shit, man, that shit ain't even food. And we don't even know what's in that shit. You read the ingredients, it's 20 different ingredients that you can't even pronounce, that you don't even know what that shit is. And then each ingredient, if you look it up and research it, each ingredient got 10 different ingredients of its own. So it's like, if you read the ingredients of some Oreos, shit, we walking, man, I got time. I'm finna look that shit up, man. I'm finna look up the ingredients of Oreos, and we're gonna do a little research. I guarantee you it's a bunch of damn ingredients that we can't even pronounce. And then when we look up each of those ingredients, it got a whole bunch of other shit in it. Let me see, Oreos ingredients. Let's see. Hold on. Get to where y'all can see it. Hold up. Let's see. Open. Okay, hold up. Okay. Oh, shit. So I just want y'all to and see. These is all the ingredients of Oreo cookies. And I know it look crazy because I'm walking, but I don't want to stop walking. I'm in my zone right now. But I'm going to read this shit to you. But I just want you to see just get an idea of how many different ingredients are in Oreo cookies. Right? Now, I'm going to read this shit. Okay, the ingredients to Oreo cookies: sugar, unbleached enriched flour, and then parentheses, this is all what's in the unbleached enriched flour. This is what's in it: wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, vitamin B1, riboflavin, vitamin B2, folic acid, palm oil, which is terrible, soybean, which is terrible, or canola oil, which is terrible, cornstarch, cocoa processed with alkali, corn syrup, which is terrible, high fructose corn syrup. So they got two different types of corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, both terrible. Salt, baking soda, Where's I at? Where's I at? Hold on. Baking soda. Where's baking soda? I done lost my place in so many damn ingredients. I forgot. Okay, baking soda, Coca-Cola syrup. Damn. Oreo cookies got Coca-Cola syrup in it. I didn't even know that shit. That shit crazy. I used to eat that shit when I was a kid. Oreo cookies has Coca-Cola syrup in it, which is high fructose corn syrup. This is what's in the Coca-Cola syrup. More high fructose corn syrup, water, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavor, natural flavor. Soy lectin, red 40, which is terrible. Red 40 Lake, natural and artificial flavor, chocolate, carbon dioxide. And then the only kind of like semi-warning they're giving you, the only semi-warning they're giving you is that it contains wheat or soy, because they know some people probably be allergic to those things. And then contains bioengineered ingredients. Oh, so this is what I want y'all to peep too, right? This is something that I just got hip to like a week or two ago, right? I gotta stop to show you this. You see where it says contains bioengineered food ingredient? You seen that, right? So Oreo cookies, on the ingredients label, it says bioengineered food ingredient, right? You know what that's another way of saying? Bioengineered food ingredient is another way of saying genetically modified organisms, GMOs, right? So this is what the food companies did with they janky ass. You know, they used to put on food that they had genetically modified organisms, right? Now, at first, a lot of people didn't know what that was, so they probably didn't, think too much of it. But then it became well known that GMOs, genetically modified organisms, was bad for you, right? That ain't some shit you need to be eating. So, naturally, a lot of people start changing their habits and they stop eating food with GMOs. Prime example, like me. I used to love Chipotle, right? I used to eat Chipotle all the time. But when I learned that Chipotle was falsely advertising their food as organic and free-range meat and free-range chicken and all that, and that they really had GMOs, I stopped eating Chipotle because of that. I'm like, wait a minute. This shit ain't really organic like they be advertising? Then Chipotle, they was on some bullshit. They was like, man, this bigger than Nino Brown. That's how Chipotle did. When Chipotle got caught false advertising about their food being organic, it was like, hey man, look, this bigger than Nino Brown. Told you, if I'm going down, I got a long list of people that's going with me. But nah, that's pretty much what Chipotle said. They was like, look, man, all of these restaurants do the same thing we do. We just honest enough to admit it. So Chipotle pretty much was saying like, hey man, Subway, Panda Express, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, all that stuff y'all like to eat, man. Hey, they doing the same thing we doing, man. We just keeping it real. At least we letting y'all know that we falsely advertise. But everybody else doing the same thing. But yeah, back to the GMO thing, right? When people got hip to the language of GMO, they changed it to bioengineered food ingredient. But it means the same thing. They just changed the wording to something less familiar. So it's crazy, man. That's why you gotta be aware, man. And mothers, if you got kids, no matter how much they throw a fit, no matter how much you gotta hear them crying and complaining and all that, stop feeding them all that All that shit with all that sugar. Stop giving them all that candy and just all that cereal. You gotta stop giving them all that type of shit, man. All that cereal. Just the type of foods that like they advertise for kids that kids shouldn't be eating. And make your kids be active. I know that's something a lot of parents ain't gonna do. A lot of parents ain't gonna make their kids get off the video game, go outside and play. But that's what need to happen too. Make them kids get active. Go outside and play. Only old folk pay attention to that. That's real. That's because, you know, when you get older, you start to appreciate your life more. Or I can't say that for everybody, because I know some people 20 years older than me that still don't appreciate their life. But a lot of us, when we get older, we start to have a better appreciation for life and therefore become more conscious of the choices that we make. The things that we put into our body, how we treat our body, and so forth. Damn, not Subway. I used to think I was eating fresh. Hey man, me too. But see, this is just the rule of thumb that you got to keep in mind, right? Anything that's mass produced, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna take a hit some type of way, man. Especially in the United States. Just think about that, right? Just think about how many sandwiches Subway pumps out in a day. Or Five Guys, how many burgers Five Guys pumps out in a day. You know, in order to keep up with that demand, you know, they gonna do a lot of twisting and bending. Just is what it is, man. We the future of these kids. I tell mine, I'm their future self. See things in the future they cannot see right now. Yeah, they ain't gonna get it till they get older though, man. You know, it's a lot of stuff my dad used to tell me when I was a kid that didn't register to me till I got older. But you still gotta tell them though. Even though they might not get it right now, they'll get it when they get older, because a lot of stuff my dad told me as a kid didn't register till I was older, but I was glad that he told me. You know, I'm a grown man now moving around. I'm like, damn, Dad, Pops told me about that. And I'm so glad he told me about that. I didn't get it back then, but I get it now. You know, that happened to me so many times throughout my life, throughout my adult life. You know, reflecting back on things my dad told me as a kid that I didn't understand or I didn't appreciate it. You know, it didn't resonate with me at the time, but when I grew up, it did. So you still gotta tell them. Oh, freeze, don't start banging on in and out again. Yeah, man, none of that stuff cool, man. You know, that shit killing us. I was eating a lot of Subway, also thinking the same thing when I turned around and I learned about processed meat. I was eating a lot of sodium nitrate, and that's in a lot of meats. Right, you know, they put so much stuff, you know, a lot of them restaurants, man, they put so much stuff in the meat to like try to keep it fresh and appealing, you know, tasting good and all of that. My thing is, man, I don't want to eat no food that if you leave it out Or not even leave it out, even if it's in the refrigerator. If you don't eat that shit in like 3-4 days, it's going bad. That's the only kind of food I want to eat, man. If you leave some shit out or in the refrigerator and it go bad in 3-4 days, that's what I want. I don't want that shit that could leave it in the fridge or leave it out and it don't go bad. I was even thinking about that shit, man. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about milk and how milk, y'all probably noticed that shit, and I don't even drink milk, but y'all probably noticed that shit how, especially for those of y'all that's older, there was kids like in the 90s, even the early 2000s. You ever notice how the expiration date of milk goes further and further out? You buy a gallon of milk right now and that shit don't expire for like 3 or 4 weeks or some shit like that, I don't know. But milk used to expire quick. Bread, the same thing. You buy a loaf of bread, man, that shit don't expire. Like 2 weeks or something. You know what I mean? Back in the days, if you bought some milk and didn't drink that shit in a few days, it was gonna start stinking. And then if it go too long, it was gonna get lumpy, had them chunks in it. Now that shit don't expire for like, some milk don't expire for like a month. You know? That's why I'm glad I don't fuck with none of that shit no more, man. No milk, no bread. I don't do none of that shit. Shit don't do nothing but keep your body inflamed. Leave you open to get all kind of autoimmune diseases and shit like that. People be wondering why they got eczema, why they got psoriasis. Eating all that damn bread. All that damn dairy. For real. And eating 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. That's another problem. I'm just glad I'm in the mode I'm in with the mindset I got, man. Eating to live, not living to eat. Substitute, I just ate a cinnamon roll made of sweet potatoes and coconut milk. You can tell the difference. I ain't never even heard of that. That sound cool though. You know, they got all kind of alternatives, man, healthy alternatives to things, man. If you just are intuitive enough, your diet should be based on your health status, for real. Facts, pasteurized is a heating process to kill bacteria, hence it's necessary to refrigerate it. Right. Freeze, do you take probiotics or eat natural probiotics? Nah, I ain't got into the probiotics, but I know it's beneficial though. I'm addicted to man, people crazy. You addicted to eating booty, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's too healthy neither, man. Putting your mouth on something that some terrible things come out of, man. You ever think about what comes out of a booty? I know some people don't care. They still gonna eat booty regardless, but I'm just saying, man, if you really think about what comes out the booty, man. Then again, you got people that like eating what comes out the booty. You got people that got shit fetishes and all types of shit. So, hey, to each their own. I ain't mad at you. I ain't judging you, man. Eat away, man. Gonna have you all you can eat buffet of booty, man. It's all good. Eat to your heart's content. You dig? I might have to look into that for alternatives for my kids. Yeah, man. You know. See, me, it's kind of like a tug of war situation. Because my kids already know. They older now, you know, they 16 and 17 now, but when they was little, it wasn't no McDonald's. We ain't going through none of them drive-throughs, Happy Meal bullshit, all that. We ain't doing none of that. I'm that dude say, yo, change the subject. Yeah, you probably over there eating some bullshit right now. That's why you want to change the subject. No, we ain't changing the subject, man. Stop eating that bullshit. If y'all like steaks, sub that stuff with lion's mane, mushrooms. Y'all stupid. 50 floors up. Stroke 1, stroke 2, lying on the ground, can't move. Stroke 3, stroke 4, left hand works no more. Oh, man. I'm an asshole. You couldn't afford it while you walking. I don't know what you mean by that. But just like eggs, fresh eggs don't have to be refrigerated. Pasteurized eggs should be. Hey, Sylvia, you know what's crazy about that? I'm glad you said that, Sylvia. Check this out, right? When I was in Colombia, right? When I first got there, I was going all around the grocery store looking for eggs, right? And you know, I'm used to seeing eggs in an area where they refrigerated or something, right? So, man, I was walking around the grocery store for a minute, and finally I just glanced over and seen the eggs on this particular aisle, but I had walked down that aisle like 3-4 times. And finally I seen where the eggs was, and they wasn't like they was just on the shelf. They wasn't refrigerated. They wasn't in the area where it was cold or nothing. The eggs was just like, they just was out. And then I came to realize that all the grocery stores in Colombia is like that. All the grocery stores in Colombia, they don't keep their eggs in a cooler or nothing like that. They just keep them like on the shelf or stacked up somewhere. And then another thing that tripped me out about the eggs in Colombia, sometimes you'll catch like a feather on them. You know what I mean? Like they fresh from the farm or something. See like some feathers on your eggs and shit, you know? I'm like, damn, these eggs are super fresh. They got feathers on them and shit. Like the chicken just laid these joints. But nah, that's some real talk though. How many miles did you walk when you got those 25K steps? Man. Now, mind you, I didn't do it all at one time. It was broken up throughout the day, but still, that's a lot of walking, though. But let's see, 25,000 steps. That's probably like, I want to say like 11 miles, 11, 12 miles, somewhere up in there. Kind of want to say like 11 miles. But if I'm guessing right, I want to say between 11 and 12 miles. Because for me, with my height and my stride and all of that, it takes me about 2,200 steps to walk a mile, roughly. Between 22 and 2,300 steps, but I'll say 22. So if it takes me about 2,200 steps to walk a mile, you times that by 10, 22,000, it's about 10 miles. And I walk like 25 and some change. So I'll say it's about 11 miles. Somewhere up in there. But you know, that's one thing I miss about Vegas, man. The way Vegas was back in the days. Hey, man, when you on that strip in Vegas campaigning, shit, you might walk 10 or 15 miles in a day and don't even realize that shit. Cause you constantly moving, you chopping it up with the pimping, you getting at bitches. You know, you just constantly doing something. So walking up and down that strip, man, I used to walk at least 5 miles like it wasn't shit. You know what I mean? Just moving through the casinos and going up and down the strip. To walk like 5 miles on the strip in Vegas, that shit ain't nothing. So, you know, that shit keep the pimpin' slim and trim. Munching on some sea moss gel and red plums right now. Hey, dig that. That's good stuff, man. I ain't had no sea moss since before I left the state, so now that I'm back, I need to go get me some sea moss gel, man. Them fresh eggs, they be brown, purple, yellow, and hella colors. Yeah, for real. Yep. And it's funny that you mentioned that because while I was out there too, they probably had some, but I don't remember seeing no white eggs. It was all brown. Oh yeah, heard about them lion's mane mushrooms. Burger substitute for sure. Y'all making them lion's mane mushrooms sound good. Let me see where I'm at with my steps, man. We've been live for, damn, it don't even seem like we've been live for an hour. Let me see where I'm at with my steps. I started at 1313. Where we at now? Let's see. Okay, we at 8372. I'm almost at 10K. Just that quick, chopping it up with y'all, man. That is a breeze. Yeah, I think I'll walk probably like 20 more minutes and I'll be cool. How does it feel to be back in the States? It's cool. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was in my zone in Colombia, man. I was feeling real good out there, but it's cool to be back in the States though. See some peoples and shit, see my kids, all of that, you know. But yeah, I was feeling that Colombia, man. The living is just easy, man. That's what I like about it, man. The living is real easy out there. And it's like, when you in the States, man, it's like so much red tape with everything. That's just like, hey, man, I know this might sound funny to some of y'all, man, but if you can relate to me, you might have the same problem that I'll be having, man. But, hey, man, I think TSA got a thing against guys with big dicks, man. For real. Because you know how, now mind you, going through security in them other countries, they don't make you take your shoes off, all that stupid ass shit, man. But anyway, you know, a lot of times when I fly, I purposely wear like sweats and shit that don't have metal in it, no belt, no jeans with metal or nothing, you know, so that when I go through the metal detector, it's smooth, it's easy, right? But man, them motherfuckers always want to randomly pull me to the side and pat me down, man. That shit be pissing me off. I'm like, man, I ain't got shit on me. Nothing is metal. You know, I don't have nothing in my pockets. And they always want to touch on me, man, and pat me down and shit, man. And you know how they show you on the screen the area that got alerted? You ever see that shit? When you go through TSA and you go through that thing, they make you hold your arms up like that, and they scan you, and then it'll show you the area that got alerted. Man, it's always in my crotch, man. My crotch always be alerting these motherfucking TSA X-ray or metal detector, whatever it is, man. Then they gotta pull me to the side and pat me down. I might be tripping, man, but like I said, man, I think they got a thing against guys that's packing, man. Because they always want to pull me to the side, man. I hate that shit. Always want to touch on me and shit. And they did the same thing when I came through the metal detector this time. You got to get used to it. They always want to touch on a pimp. I ain't getting used to that. I don't like people touching me, man. Hate that shit. Then one time, man, I was so mad. I don't know if I told y'all this story before, man, but I wanted to fire on this dude. So, boy, I wanted to whoop this dude ass so bad. I just had so much going on legally, man. I couldn't do it because at that time I had a lot of legal issues, man. I'm on probation at the time. I'm on probation out of Virginia. I got an ankle monitor on, and I'm fighting a case in Tennessee, living in Arizona, so I got to fly back and forth to Tennessee every time I got to go to court. Got this ankle monitor on. I had a lot of bullshit going on at the time, right? But I fly into Chattanooga, right? Because I got court out there. And when I'm flying back, when I'm leaving Chattanooga on my way back to Arizona, I goes through the TSA shit, through the metal detector and everything. And like they always want to do, man, they pull me to the side to pat me down. But the TSA dude that had to pat me down was this gay white dude, man. Gay as all get out, man. And this buster pat me down, and you know when they pat you in the front, they use the back of their hands. And this bitch ass motherfucker gonna pat down there. He like, what's this? And he like chuckled and shit. He like, oh, my bad. Man, I wanted to break this fool jaw so bad. But you know, they be doing shit like that, man. I think they get a kick out of that shit, man. I don't know if whoever implemented these rules with TSA, if they got a problem against people that got, you know, big things down there, or they wife left them for somebody that was bigger than them, or they just gay and they like touching on guys. I don't know. But that shit pissed me off, man. I wanted to put it on the line that day, man. As much legal problems as I had going on at the time, I was finna give myself some more. That dude pissed me off, but I was like, I can't do it, man. I got too much shit going on right now. But man, I wanted to go to jail that day. And I don't even talk like that. Yeah, but you know, when you're going through security in them other countries, man, through the airport, it'd be a breeze, man. They don't have all that extra ass shit. That's just one thing I like about being out the country, man. At least, you know, certain countries. Every country probably ain't the same, but shit just be easy, man. The US, they want to make every fucking thing hard. Everything complicated. Everything got a bunch of red tape, you know? Shit just supposed to be ABC 1, 2, 3. They're making that shit A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the US. They want to make everything complicated. See, I would have never did this shit before I left the States. How I've been walking all this time, and I do this every day. I wasn't doing this shit before I left the States, man. I wasn't nearly walking enough like this. This shit gonna keep you right, though. This shit is gonna keep you right. Getting these steps in, man, putting this love in your body. Make sure you get active, man. Don't sit around all day. Get up and move around, man. Go walk around the block a few times, man. It ain't gonna kill you. How you felt about Diddy documentary 50 put out? I still ain't watched it, man, and you know what? The thought crossed my mind for a split second to watch it. But then again, I thought about it. I ain't finna watch that shit, man. I don't like them type of, I don't like that type of shit, man. Where they tearing people down and all that, man. I don't like that type of shit. And then 50 as a black man, on one hand, I can't be mad at him because, he getting his money and everything. It's an opportunity for him and shit, but I just don't like people that kick people while they down or, because, like, I don't give a damn what nobody say, man. Puffy shouldn't even be in prison right now. He should have never got locked up in the first place. At least not for that. I don't know what else he did or didn't do or what, but he should have never went to the penitentiary for that. They don't even send people to the penitentiary for that. People don't even get convicted like he did and sentenced like he did the way they did him. The way they did Puffy, man, they don't do nobody like that. They made a special exception for him because that's how bad they wanted him. And the feds know they made a fool of themselves. They made themselves look stupid. So they, to save face, they're like, man, we got to give them something. Let's just throw these little 4 years on them. Feds made a fool of themselves, man. That's why they did that to Puff. Puff shouldn't even be locked up right now. All the motherfucking legal analysts and professionals, all the lawyers and judges and everybody that gave commentary and predictions on that shit, everybody was like, man, Puffy going home. He ain't finna go. If he do get some time, he gonna get a year at the most. Time served, he gonna get right out. This is what all the experienced legal professionals was saying. They did some shit to him that they'll never do. You know what I mean? Them charges he got convicted of, man, they don't convict people of that for real. And then if they do, they don't give them as much time. Even though, 4 years ain't forever, but it's still too much time for that shit. They did Puff janky. So I ain't into all that shit. I ain't gonna watch that documentary. I'm cool. I'd rather do something like what I'm doing right now. Like I say all the time, man, you only got 1,440 minutes within a day. I don't want to spend 60 minutes or 90 minutes or however long that shit is watching that bullshit when I could be doing what I'm doing right now. Investing in myself. Out here walking. You know what I mean? You see a pimp face looking all slim and trim. Pimp looking good around here, man. You dig? Yeah, man. Fuck all that nonsense. I ain't into that. I'm cool. Did he have ties with the Crips? Man, they saying all kind of bullshit, man. Now, that ain't no secret as far as like, him being plugged in with the South Sides and Compton. Him and Biggie was rocking with them. But as far as Puff being a Crip, nah. Puff ain't no damn Crip. Diddy overly freaked out, but all the other shit was just trumped up charges. That's what I'm saying. And like I said, the feds, Puff got that time because the feds made a fool of themselves, and he was just a casualty of them trying to save face. A RICO case with one defendant insane. Right. Another thing that's unheard of. I don't even know why they tried to pull that off. Same thing they did with R. Kelly, and they did pull it off with R. Kelly. They did convict R. Kelly of the RICO by itself. Shit crazy, man. I fuck with it 50 no goddamn well. He shouldn't be doing that while that man locked up and not able to defend himself. Yeah, see, I don't, that's what I don't like, man. It's just poor taste on 50's part, man. And I don't like this world, man, where, everything is cool, man, and people just accept everything and embrace everything and respect everything. No matter how much of sucker shit it is, no matter how much buster shit it is, no matter how much cowardly shit it is, people just accept and respect everything. I ain't with that shit, man. If something ain't right, I don't give a damn who doing it, man. And I got respect for 50 and admiration for 50 and all that. But that's some sucker shit. And I can't endorse that. So Sin would have tore that trial up if he was here. Yeah. Bro definitely would have broke it down. Diddy is still flashing, living rental free in a hater's mind. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate. Man, this little time be going by quick. I said I was gonna be live and walk for another 20 minutes, but shit. It's already been 15 minutes since I said that. It's very unmanly. That's what I'm saying. But see, that's the problem with 50, man. 50 always got yes men around him. 50 ain't got no homeboys that's gonna keep it real with him. Cause they scared of him. And me, I don't want no bunch of yes men around me. I like 50, but this film is weak. I ain't even gonna watch it. I know it's weak without even watching it just because of what it's based on. To me, it's like surviving R. Kelly all over again. He took a page out of old girl's book. I forget her name. The punk ass bitch that put that surviving R. Kelly bullshit together. Is it Dream Hampton? Is that who it was? I think that's who it was. But her bust her ass. Puffy and Big were disrespectful to Pac after he died. Don't nobody feel sorry for dude. No, I'm not saying I feel sorry for him, but he definitely got done wrong. That's just the 100. And see,
I thought you were talking to me, my bad.
Nah, I'm on. Nah. But if you a black man in America, man, you gotta feel some type of way about what's happening with Puff, because it can happen to any of us. And that's how I look at the shit. It ain't even so much about Puff in particular. But, when things like this would happen to Puff, it sets the tone for some new bullshit. Now they're gonna start doing other motherfuckers like that. You know what I mean? You can't even be a trick no more. That's basically what Puffy is in jail for right now, for being a high-powered trick and flying people out. That's crazy. You can't fly a bitch out or fly, you know, a male escort to fuck your bitch if that's what you want to do. Can't fly him out. He locked up right now for tricking. That's crazy. They sent the man to the penitentiary for tricking. If you can't recognize that for what it is, then hey, man, I hope it don't happen to you. That's all I can say. It definitely ain't gonna happen to the pimpin', but I hope it don't happen to you. Whoever just could look at that shit and don't see it for what it is. I hope it don't happen to you. Hold up. R.I.P. Irv Gotti, he said 50 was a tattletale. Fifth got entire documentaries. He telling on a whole nother level. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I ain't gonna call him, I ain't gonna say it's telling because he ain't doing that. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's in the documentary, so I can't say, but I would imagine he just talking about shit that's already out there, but just going into details about it. I don't know. Now, if it's something on the documentary that could get Puff in more trouble than what he's already in, then that's different. I don't know if that's what he's doing. But if so, then yeah, that definitely ain't cool. But hey, I don't know. Real talk, Freeze, they do one black man like that, they'll do all of us like that. That's all I'm saying. Just as a black man, you know, I know Puffy ain't no saint, but shit, ain't nobody a saint. And the way they did that, man, was straight up wrong. Straight up. You know what I mean? And it opens the door for them to do more like that. Puff ain't gonna be the last one. He the first one. He ain't gonna be the last one. They finna start doing more people like that. Cause guess what? Even after looking at Puff, you got so many of these like celebrities and singers, rappers, comedians, actors, basketball players, athletes, all these people, right? They probably got the same mindset of the person that just made that comment, like, man, I don't feel sorry for Puff. Meanwhile, they flying bitches out. You know what I mean? And now, because of what happened with Puffy, all it take is for one broad to say, hey, he trafficked me and sent for me. Nah. Yeah, but you know, all it takes is for somebody, for a broad to say he sent for me and paid me to do this, and you can go to prison for that now. That's what Puffy is in jail for, man. Paying for sex. That man is locked up for paying for sex. Now, you know, normally, Trick get caught up in some shit like that. They do a few days in jail, pay some restitution, do some community service, something like that, man. That's usually what happens with the tricking, man. Tricks don't get sent to the penitentiary for tricking. And that's what they did with Puff, man. They sent that man to prison for tricking, man. That shit blows my mind. 2025, man, that shit blows my mind. That man is locked up, walking a prison yard with a gray jumpsuit on for tricking. They ain't did nobody else like that. People been doing that forever. They did Puff like that, though, a black man. That's ugly. Watch what I say, man. Remember I told you this at the end of 2025. 2026, it's going to be some more examples made, you know, same way they did Puff. They gonna do some more people like that next year. I guarantee you. Because they set the tone with Puff, now they could do it, because it's accepted now. So they could do it with anybody. Right, meanwhile the judge is tricking, the DA tricking, all of them tricking. They the biggest tricks. If they would do that to Puff, imagine what they would do to a nobody. Man, they finna start doing that to all kind of people, man. It's ugly. But, let's see where I'm at with my steps. Let's see where we at. Pretty sure I done cleared 10K. Oh yeah, we done cleared it, man. Okay. See, I feel good, man, because it's 4 in the morning and I done already got my 10,000 steps in for the day, man. See, I got my workout in. I got my 10,000 steps in. Now I got the rest of the day to do whatever. You know what I mean? Handle other business. See people, hang out, do whatever I want to do, man. I done got the important shit out the way early. You dig? People got to pay attention. Their own airfare, or people got to pay their own airfare and wait for their reimbursement. This might weed out the bullshit though. Nah, see, even that's like kind of risky. That's kind of pushing it, Sylvia. It's what you saying sounds logical. It makes sense. It makes sense theoretically, right? If you think about it, it sounds about right. But whether the person pays their own airfare or not, they're still getting paid for a service. You know what I mean? Once they get there. And they're traveling across state lines to get paid for this act. So they still gonna figure a way to book somebody on that. Now, the way that you could go around it probably is to fly to them. Like if Puffy would have been flying to them, if he'd have been flying to whatever state they was in, then they probably really couldn't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? It's doing a lot, it's doing the most, but hey, if you want to have fun, sometimes you got to go the extra mile, I guess. But now that's probably what these tricks gonna have to do. They gonna have to fly to whoever it is they want to see. You know what I mean? And then pay them when they get there and fly back or do whatever they're gonna do. That's probably the only way around that. But even if a person pay for their own airfare to you, you're still paying them. And like say for instance, right? The reimbursement is still you paying for the flight. You just paying for it after the fact, right? But you still paying for it though, right? Even if you say, hey, you know what I mean? Pay for your ticket, and whatever your ticket is, if your ticket $500 or whatever, I'll put that on top of what I already was gonna pay you. It's the same thing. In the court of law, that's how they're gonna break it down. But if you fly to them, it ain't really much they could say about that. Because like in Puffy's case, again, let's say he wanted to go, or like he wanted to had a Punisher or whoever, one of the male escorts, have fun with Cassie, and him and Cassie fly to Miami or fly to New York or fly to LA or wherever the trick is, and then do their thing. Pay the man, and then him and Cassie fly back. I don't think it's really much they could do in that instance. Now, if they figure out how to send somebody to the penitentiary for that, then that's off the chain, extremely crazy. Puffy assistant was paying for the travel. Shit, I thought Cassie was the one paying for all that shit. I think that's what some of them dudes was saying when they was testifying, that Cassie was the one that was paying them. You know, if I remember correctly, I don't think Puffy, and that's another thing too. That's what's crazy. Like look at that. I don't think Puffy was the one who actually paid any of those people. Of course, we know it was his money, but he wasn't the one who actually gave those people the money. You know what I mean? So really, if you really be real, Puffy is just locked up for watching people and recording people get busy. What they call that shit, voyeurism. That's really what Puff locked up for. He locked up for voyeurism. For watching people get busy. That's it. That's crazy. That's really and truly, for real, what he locked up for. Voyeurism. But yeah, man, I'm about to wrap this walk up, man. I done got it in. At about 11,000 steps. 4 in the morning, man. I already done knocked it out, man. I already had my workout, drove my iron, got my steps in. About to go in here and eat. Big ass salad. You dig? And I'll chop it up with y'all in a minute. I'll probably go live again later today. If I can, if I got time. You dig? But get active today, man. Go do something. Don't sit around all day, man. Don't sit on your ass all day, man. Put them feet to work, you dig? But yeah, man. Y'all already know who it is, what it is, man. Freeze is it. Put some love in my body before we go. Damn. This water done got cold, me being outside. But I appreciate y'all, as always, for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate all the comments, questions, input, jokes, feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for sharing this video. I appreciate you for subscribing. I appreciate you for hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all super chats, cash apps, PayPals, all that good stuff. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you like me right now, out in traffic, moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable, Simple to P. We out.